Looks like it's starting. Hi everyone, TigerHawk-T3 here. I was hoping to do an extra Python segment yesterday, but it didn't happen. And that's why I said, don't hold me to it. So here I am on a regular Python day doing Python. I have several things I want to add. I've been planning, because it's fun. Let's do stuff. First, I want to change totals by day to separate gains and losses. Now, what does that mean? Group by day, totals by day. So for this, it generally works as I expected, but if you have a sale of an item, then that item has a gain and a loss value. And sure enough, I have a gain and a loss value. But if I filtered by, say, a gain item of energy credits, it means I want to see where I gained energy credits. That includes the loot events where I gained energy credits but lost something else, which I sold. So instead of a nice, energy credits this much, I get maybe industrial replicators, and then however many times I sold those, not how many I sold, but how many times I sold them, and then maybe energy credits and the number of those, and then a whole bunch of other stuff, shields and other garbage that I didn't really want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate this into two different buckets. Gains, losses equals another dictionary. And then we have gains, item not gain item, gains, gain that value, losses, losses, and then if this is in gains, gains.pop, same thing for losses, losses, and we yield the gains and the losses. Great. Now what calls this for D bucket? Gains, losses, count.update with the gains, count.update with the losses. All right. Very good. What else calls this that I need to change? I'm sure. G and L, whatever. So these will certainly be changing and moved around to various places. Gain and loss. Okay, fine. So we'll just print the two different dictionaries in this little thing. That's fine. Okay. This was items, totals by day. How about if we spent, this would be for a, okay, I'm currently thinking we have the gains, so what if we got dilithium, and then what if we spent dilithium at some other point? We are not necessarily interested in that. You would just do those separately. Do we want a net value? Let's see if we can make a net value. So we would have totals by day. How about net by day? Yeah, we'd have to group by day. The filters would have to be a gain item of that item and a loss item of that item as well. We'll just have it separate. You can create that data, those data, a little more manually in Excel or something. Let's see. Daily average to wrap totals by day. We want to get all the objects and values. Actually, I think it would be cumulative totals. Yeah. We would want the total number of days and the total objects. Because I think the average somewhere over here, total value. Do I use this anywhere? Probably not. Okay, that's all right. I have a bunch of stuff here that I never use. That's okay. I can leave it in there for now, and if later I decide it's totally unnecessary, I can take it out. But it's not doing any harm where it is right now. Average total value. This seems... am I doing that? Didn't I change that to remove? No, because this is for the function, not as a filter. That's right. Okay. Okay then. So let's do the following. Let's wrap cumulative totals. Def average totals. I have something bumping. That's better. Something was going clonk under my desk. I fixed it. Self and filters. Okay. So cumulative totals does D and count. Okay. Update gains, update the losses. Oh, that's pretty good. This is kind of a net value. How about don't I have a total-ish thing somewhere? Total and length. Sure. Total equals 0. Length equals 0. I wish it wouldn't do that sometimes. I just want to press the enter key at the end of a statement without it guessing at larger words. It's a little annoying. I'd have to press escape all the time. IDEs, huh? And this is just Notepad++. Actual IDEs are more annoying. At least Notepad++ doesn't have warnings. A warning is a thing that you are told that you can ignore. Because it's just the IDE going, maybe you didn't mean to do this, but maybe you did. And it's not that it'll cause an error or something. It's not like you forgot a colon at the end of an if statement. It'll catch those, I think, I hope. But warnings aren't like that. Warning is maybe you initialize something and then didn't use it, or it can't keep track of your variable scopes, and it's like, I don't know. Anyway, total is 0, the 0 for d and count in cumulative totals with filters. No. Total is taken care of. It's length that I need. Length plus equals 1. This looks like something I should do with sum, meaning total value or event quantity. But each of these is separate. I don't know how incredibly useful that is. I only want to go through it once. Thanks. I could just do that. Length equals sum 1 for d and count in this. Okay. And then return v over length for, let's do integer, what's it, just in case I don't want floating points all over the place. Key and v over length for kv in, oh no, nope, hang on, or yes, I believe it is count. Should still be in that scope, in this scope. Generator expressions and if statements do not have a scope. For loops do not have a scope. If you do for x in range 10, print x, you can be like, okay, and then it'll print, 0 through 9 inclusive, and then you can print x again, and it will still be 9. So, average totals. So we've added that. And that's going through the cumulative totals with the day and the count. And we have the length. That's what we need. That's how many days there were, basically. And it also gets the most updated count. The counter object. And then for each key and value in that counter object, we make a new dictionary with that same key, which is the item name. And the value is the value, the total for that object, divided by the length, the number of days. That should work. Okay. Let's do some GUI stuff. Let me save this. GUI. Now what? Now we've got GUI things to do that need doing. 14 minutes in. Pretty good. Making good time. 4-hour streams are all well and good, but if I can do it faster, then that's excellent. Get more things done in a shorter amount of time. So, what do I want to do? Turn filter values into ints when necessary in the GUI, and make set literals work in GUI. Recall that in here in getLoot, we have an in, which works with sets, but our GUI just has a little entry box that has a string. You can't tell it that it's a set literal when you're just typing it in. It's always a string. So we have to process that. And I think the way we will do that, I've been thinking about it, is we'll say if the field has the pipe character and regular expressions are not turned on, then that will basically split it into a set of those items. If not temp.get regex. So this attempts to retrieve the value of the regex filter from this dictionary, and if it's not turned on, then we want to process things a different way. That would be gain item and loss item that we want to check for because they're strings. No. Gain item, loss item, gain value, loss value. We'll do those separately because they're not reliant on the regex tag at all. Isn't there, hang on. Oh, min gain, min loss, max loss. Okay, so that works like that instead. That's fine. We will first do this if we're not doing regex. If gain item in temp and the pipe is in, let's do this. If pipe in temp.get gain item or empty string. Oops, forgot a thingy. There we go. So if we're not doing a regular expression, we're going to first look for the pipe character, because I don't think the pipe is in any item name. It's just not a thing. So if they included a pipe, but they're not doing regular expressions, it means they want a simple set searching, which should be faster than regular expressions. So we will let them do that. They could just turn on regular expression searching and it would work the same way because it's an OR. But this way we'll do literal characters instead of saying it's a regular expression. That's it. So if they have like a gain item of dot dot with a bar and then dot. If they do that for some reason, I don't know. If regular expression searching is turned on, that will look for either 2 characters or 1 character, which is pretty general. And if it's turned off, it'll make a set out of this and look for either 1 dot or 2 dots, which is a lot more specific. So if the pipe is in the gain item, actually no, I don't want to make a gain item if it doesn't exist. So never mind. If gain item in temp and pipe is in temp gain item, okay, so if we have a gain item in there and there's a pipe in it, then temp gain item will be set to a set of temp gain item dot split, on the pipe character. We need parentheses, very important. Okay. Same for the loss item. If loss item, paste, 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 I know. It's okay. Gain item, loss item, okay. Now, if minimum loss, min gain, max gain, min loss, max loss. If min gain in temp, let's actually put this into a loop. For var in min gain, max gain, min loss, max loss. If var in the dictionary, then we want to do temp var gets instead int of temp var. Okay. And those are the things that we want to have as integers. Very good. So we have filters that could be a date, and we will refactor that right now. For var in min date, max date, if var in temp var equals blah 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 var, because they're the same otherwise. Okay, and then we indent that. Very good. I will pop that last. Okay, we go through min date and max date, and if either of those is in the dictionary, then we want to replace it with the date time of that object, that string. If we don't have the regex flag on in the filters, if regex not in temp. Okay, so if we're not doing regex, then we look for the gain item, and if it's in there and they have a pipe, then we turn it into a set. Okay. If we have a loss item in the dictionary and there's a pipe in it, then we want to turn it into a set as well. And this should be a loop also. Gain item, loss item, if var in temp, and there's a pipe in temp var, then the temp var will instead get a set out of the temp var split on that pipe that exists. Good. Need to indent that, or else I will get an indentation error, expected an indented block. For var in this, this, and this, and this, if it exists, change it to an integer. If we have an empty string in there, pop it out, and then return it. Okay. This shouldn't really do very much different, but it should do what we want, and we can test this stuff. because they don't really have any other functions besides totals by day. GUI. I need that string daily. Let me show you this. Where'd it go? It's somewhere. Here we are. I should probably hard code this for now. I don't know. Populate. Okay. And then we want no regex. Let's have contraband and dilithium. And dilithium ore. Gain item can be contraband or dilithium ore. Okay, now let's see what we get. Things and stuff. Neat. Notice how everything is in a different order. We don't always have contraband and then ore and then refined. Here we have the ore first and then contraband. It's kind of switched around, right? That is because the dictionaries are arbitrarily ordered. I probably said that before, but it is well worth repeating. Because if you expect them not to be arbitrarily ordered, to be in the same order each time, you will probably have problems eventually. Bad things may occur. So this works. I don't have the regex active, and it's looking for those exact things. So that's great. Dilithium ore. We have dilithium and stuff. So that's cool. Great. Happy times. How about, can I test anything else? For now, there's more stuff. And we're making good time. Oh, how about max gain? Max gain, let's cap it at, actually let's take out, I want to make this a little simpler. How about just dilithium? And let's look for just dilithium, and we look for a max. No, let's do a min gain. And this should cut out the first day because it's lower. Dilithium 1000. How about? Indeed. Dilithium 626, 108, 3000. There should be others here. 516. Oh, no. This is events of 1000. So if I gained less than 1000 dilithium in an event, it does not show up. Fascinating. So that doesn't do exactly what I thought it would do briefly, momentarily, but it does what it should do, and that is what counts. And we can always, this can be a, I thought it would just cut out the 626, but it cut out that because there was obviously no loot event where we got more than 1000 dilithium at once, because there was only 626 in the entire day. And it slightly reduced this because it's only including events of 1000 or more. And generally I refined more than 1000 at a time, but just a few times it kind of cut off. Like 1200 was refined less than 1000 at a time. Same for the next day, the day after that. I only refined in quantities of more than 1,000. Same for the next. 54, 160 to 53, 53, 425. See this 53, 425 compared to 53, 420. I must have finished a duty officer assignment and just refined 5 lithium right there. 52, 446, and a little less, and a little less. So it's doing exactly what it should, and it makes sense, a lot of sense. I can totally understand what it's doing. That's good, and I don't think I want to change that behavior because it's fine. It's good. Okay. What now? I have filter values into ints, daily average, make set literals work in the GUI. I have that. Okay, here's an option that I have on my to-do list, but I'm not certain about. Correct for UTC offset. Whether you can... How do I put this? You can refine a certain amount of dilithium per day, and the base quantity is 8,000. There are some other emissions to get a bit more from being a veteran subscriber or being in a fleet. But if you are that base 8,000, a day is calculated as between midnight UTC on one day and midnight UTC from the next day. But the extra little missions to refine more are a 20-hour timer. I think they're 20 hours. So, different. But, yeah. So UTC means if you are not in UTC, that means people like myself. I'm in PDT right now, that's Pacific Daylight Saving Time. In the fall, I will be in PST, Pacific Standard Time, which is either 8 or 7 hours behind UTC. So when we're not in daylight saving, my dilithium refining thing resets at 4 in the afternoon. And when we are, it resets at 5 in the afternoon. So what you could, in theory, do is refine dilithium at like 8 o'clock at night on one day, and not refine at all on the next day, but a few hours, like just after midnight. So let's say on the 5th at 8 o'clock at night, I refine 8,000 dilithium, and then on the 6th I don't do anything, but on the 7th at like 1 in the morning I refine some dilithium. That means that I didn't miss a day of refining, because it's just based on UTC. But if according to this parser with the buckets, I did miss a day, because it says I missed a day locally. So I don't know if I want to do that. No. Not now, anyway. If it's incredibly important, then maybe. But for now, I don't think it is. Let's see, save and load. Let's add some more functions into this, into the GUI. Great. So I have totals by day. And for now, I will keep it just printing. I'll add a CSV thing later. I don't know. Something. Another thing I wanted to add was save and load data to avoid repeated processing. So instead of specifying a folder, you would be able to load pickled lists, a container object, and then you could load that saved container object back into the program, and then instead of populating with everything in the folder of logs, you would pick a certain file to start at, and it would start there and keep adding to the container object. I'm not sure about performance for the program at this point. If you noticed, this is of course while I'm streaming, which takes a lot of CPU. I hit populate and it takes a few seconds on the first load. Like when I first start the program and pick a folder and hit populate, it takes a couple seconds, and that's for like a week-ish of data. I don't recall whether I mentioned, but the Star Trek Online has two different functions for logging. One is chat log and the other is combat log. I thought they were totally separate. They are not. Combat log includes all combat events, and chat log includes all events, period. So it has your nice little loot events, and it has all the combat as well. So if you are doing stuff, playing the game normally, doing missions and whatnot, you will get a very large log file for this program to go through. Let me see. Take that out. Modify log. This is something I wrote because I didn't know that combat was also saved in regular chat logs, and instead of like a 200k log for the day, I ended up with something that was 12 meg, which is 60 times the usual size, and I didn't want to be going through that all the time. So what I did was first I tried going into Notepad++ and saying we're going to look for a regular expression of all the combat events and remove them. But that doesn't work. Notepad++ doesn't do that. It was like 100,000 lines in this file, and it would go for like 5 seconds and then kind of stop responding and then crash and corrupt the file because it was auto-saving while it crashed. And yeah, not so great. And so I'm like, you know what? I have Python. What am I doing not using Python, right? So open a file for input, open an output file with a specified, path, and then we look for, we read the file, just all of it, 12 meg, whatever. And we look for this expression, which is, the timestamp, and then the day and time, and a 0, at, comma, and combat, and then more stuff, and then possibly a carriage return character. I'm not sure if it how it processes that. I don't think it'll have it. Anyway, and then a line feed, and we replace that with nothing. And read.sub just replaces all found instances of this with this. And the replacement string can actually be a function that returns a string. So you can have like fancy calculations, and then it returns the string that you want to use. So that's pretty cool. So I use this, and it was it just wrote it instantly. This is incorrect. There we go. I actually move things around. I had with open and then the hard-coded location for the thing for the log, and then another open later and saving, and I refactored it into a 2-line script excluding imports. So this could be a useful thing if you want to run your logs through this. You can totally do that, and they will be smaller and quicker to go through for the actual parser. So what are we doing now? Let's make a Dabo results button. Sounds good to me. Dabo. Okay. Zip gained and lost. Okay. GUI. That's very short. Let's add a button for things. Populate totals by day. How about after totals by day? Self.dabo button equals very similar to this. I'm just gonna copy paste. Dabo wins losses. And command equals self dot double. Okay. And then we grid it in column 1. How about? I don't know. I gotta write a double function now. Totals by day. Def double. For what am I doing? Win and loss. No, for item in self.container.dabo. Self.get filters, gotta get those. Print star item. Looks good to me. I don't know if there will be any for this particular data set, because I don't think that I played any Dabo. Oops. Maybe I should play some Dabo so I can test it. That would be great, wouldn't it? That'd be great if you could go and actually get some data to test. That'd be great. Is this showing? Yeah, okay. So that takes like 1 second to populate. That's not too bad for a week. It might take longer. The eventual plan, I suppose, is to have years worth of data, potentially. And at this rate, it might take like a minute or two to go through all of it, which is noticeable. So it's possible that I might have to research how to do multiprocessing or multithreading. Don't know how well that works with hard drive bound stuff. That's called IO bound, input-output. It just depends on how fast the hard drive is. But if it's related to the regular expression and object stuff, then maybe I can split that up into the various CPUs, into the various cores, and get a speed up. I don't know. Anyway, I didn't do the... I only have this. That's bad. Did I change the what's it? What did I do? Oops. It's funny. See, I had the wrong button and I was just gridding it again in a different place. That just moves it and doesn't grid this one. That's bad. That's wrong. So let's run that again. Now I have Dabo. Great. Put that in there, populate, and Dabo, and nothing, because I don't have any. I'm pretty sure it'll work. It seems like it'll work. But I don't really play Dabo per se. I don't do that. So I just get Latinum from various ground combat missions. There's a duty officer that when you have him set to active duty, it's a Ferengi of some kind, you get a couple Latinum sometimes when defeating an enemy. So you get Latinum from that, or there's a duty officer assignment where you gamble 100 Latinum and either small chance of losing it all, or a very large chance of breaking even on Latinum, or small-ish, not too small, chance of getting 300 from your 100. And Latinum isn't really used for very much. It's used for knickknacks, junk. The disco ball subspace party amplifier. You put a disco ball in the air and everyone around dances. Or you can buy a subspace party nullifier, which you keep in your inventory, and when someone uses a party ball, you just stand there and stare at everyone. It's awesome. It's the best item in the game, actually. Every time I see a party ball, I run and stand right under it and just stand there and stare at everyone with my disapproving Vulcan glare. It's awesome. How about let's do a gain item of energy credits. I should get 2 separate dictionaries for each day. So here's a date, blah 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 blah. Nope. Get this, get that, etc, etc, etc. Energy credits in there. Okay. That's odd. Could have sworn I had changed that. Totals by day. Didn't I change this? I could have sworn I did. How strange. Oh, gains, losses, yield D, gain losses. Oh, for DI and totals by day. That shouldn't work, because it has D, gain, and losses. How odd. How very strange. For each day in the bucket, yield the day and the gain and the losses. Oh, what is gain? This is nothing. Why does this even work? Oh, I imported the old one. Hilarious. Hilarious. Okay, let's close that. Yield D gains. It's not gain, it's gains. Let's try that again, because it wasn't actually doing anything in particular. This was different. We could test that, but the changes we made to the other thing was importing the wrong one. Anyway, invalid syntax. Oh, return 155. What did I do wrong? Oh, I missed a thing. And this needs to be items, of course. Okay, let's try that again. Alright. Can I paste? Yes. Still in the clipboard. Let's do gain item, energy credits, totals by day. Expected 2, because this is just D and I. Let's do this. Gains and losses. Let's just do the gains. Okay. How about we'll call this gains by day. Gains by day. Close. Do that again. Can you see what I changed? I changed the name from totals to gains because I only want the gains. And this had just I instead of G and L. So it needed, and it got a day and a gain dictionary and a loss dictionary. So now I'm saying expect all of those objects and only print the gain. That's all I care about. Okay, and I have this, and I have that. Paste that in there. Populate. Gain item. Let's go for contraband first. Very good. Energy credits. Aha! Very good. 500,000, 1.5 million, 1.4 million. No, that's 1591383. Okay, that's 2,369,414. 1 million, 2 million, 1 1. Okay, data, and it's not full of, you know, you sold an auxiliary battery, because I honestly don't care. But the data are here, if I did. So, that's cool. Small surprise when I was inspecting these results, but I should not have been surprised because I knew very well what would happen, and I've even told you about it before, that sales that are successful on the exchange will only show up in the log if the sale occurs while you are logged in and logging. It's not a go to the mailbox and collect your gold thing. Some games do that. World of Warcraft, Rift, probably a bunch more. If you win, or if you sell something, then you get something in the mail, and you go to the mailbox, and you grab the attached money, and then you get the money. And then it can record the money, maybe. Same thing for purchasing something. You go to the auction house and you say, I'm going to buy this vicious crossbow of holy stamina, and then it says you won the auction, good job. And then, you know, momentarily, a few seconds later, you get something in the mail, and you go to the mailbox and you get your crossbow and you retrieve it as an attachment. Star Trek Online doesn't do that. When someone buys something from you on the exchange, the money goes into the appropriate character's funds instantly. If you are logged in while it happens, you get a little note that says, or you get a message in the chat log that says you received, you know, digits, comma, digits, whatever, energy credits. That's it. And then you can check your mail and see that you sold a what's it on, you sold what item to what character at handle on some day for some quantity. But that information doesn't go into the log if you're not logged in. It'll just you'll just get the money, and you'll receive a mail, and you'll be notified. That's it. For purchasing items on the exchange, they just go directly into your inventory. But I think that's that should be recorded by the log, because you can't really buy things while you're not logged in. But you can certainly successfully sell things while you're not logged in. So, I didn't see some large mail items that I had sold in these results, but that's okay, because it wasn't supposed to. They're not in the log. It doesn't exist, which is kind of a large drawback, but there's I don't think there's anything I can do, because those data do not exist for all intents and purposes. It would be cool if they did. Let's see if Dabo does anything. It doesn't, because I don't play Dabo. Maybe I should, you know, do that, and then things will happen. Anyway, let's see. What else do I want? I'm going to close that. Turn that off. Turn that off. Counter, common, Dabo. I don't know. I don't know what I want. What do we want to do? Average totals. And that's average per day. Sure. And this is cumulative totals per day, and average totals per day. It doesn't say that. Let's put another method in here. Def average per day. I don't know. No, this isn't a for daily. We're just gonna print average totals for get filters. Print self dot no, not self. Self dot container dot, what did I call it? Average totals. With star self dot get filters. Close that. Close that. That should work. Start it up again. Not that one. This one. Can I paste it in there? I can. And let me turn it on. DK enter. And what am I looking for? How about gain item would be contraband. Actually, for this, I would like to be able to have an exact match. Let's change this right now. I'm going to turn that off. If you split with the default delimiter, which is just no passed argument, it just does white space. So if you have, let me turn this off. That's a little weird. There we go. There. 1 space 2 space 3 dot split with no arguments, splits it on any white space. And the thing about the default argument is that it also discards any white space. That's at the end. But if you have a specific delimiter, it looks like it works fine. What if we have a space at the end? It's getting each of those spaces, so we have a 1, and then a space that we throw out and split there, and 2, and then we split, and 3, and then we split there, and then a nothing. And now we have an empty string in the thing. So we don't want the empty string here. So what we're gonna do if we have the pipe, what do we want to do with it? Don't just split it. What if we have it at the end? Yes, split that. I want to say we'll split it first, and then here's what we'll do. We will use a set comprehension, and then we can automatically filter. Item. Do I use this anywhere else? No. Item for item in this if item. So we're going to split the given string on a specific delimiter, and we're going to make a set out of all of them if the item is truthy, meaning if the item is not the empty string. So that's great. So if you want now, you can put a bar character before or after the search string, and it'll be an exact match because it will be a set with just that string in it. And so instead of looking for a substring in a string, it will look for a string in a set. And so it has to be an exact match. So that's cool. That was easy. Let me turn this back on. And that. All right. Thingy. Okay. What did I want to do? Totals by day? I'm pretty sure. I don't even know what I was testing anymore. Oh, no, there's this thing. Average totals that I don't, average per day that I don't have a button for. Okay. Don't have a button for that. That's great. It's not a double button. It's an average button. And we also want to grid that. Average per day. Let's just do AVG per day for now. Column is 2. Okay. And the command is average per day. Great. Let's save that and close this. Did you see all that? I just added average button. That was all I did. It's very similar to double button, except it calls a different function, and it's in a slightly different place. And I actually gridded the right button name, so that's good. All right, let's run that. TK enter. I will need to copy this thing again. Where's that darn string? From here to there, and copy, and the paste, and the populate. Contraband. Let's add one of those. Totals by day. Very good. How about average per day? Fail. Count is not defined. Of course it's not. What am I doing? Let's keep this on for now. 155, because what did I do? It should be defined. Maybe it's thrown away. I don't know. Thought that would work. For D and count, it should still have count. Count is not defined. I'm not sure why that didn't work, but that's okay. Length equals 0. Blah 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 blah. Let me close that. For where am I? Nowhere. Nothing has focus. For D and count and cumulative totals, length plus equals 1. There. Return KV over length for KV and count.items. Okay. Oh, does a generator expression have its own scope? I don't remember. Variable scope and a Python generator expression. It's perfectly fine to be Googling stuff. Having strings, a generator expression, etc. No, that's not what I mean. Variables lose scope inside generator. Oh, the debugger. You could instead create a function to return run your generator. I don't know. Set and dictionary comprehensions as well. Generator expressions and set and dict and Python 3 list comprehensions run in a new nested namespace. Okay. For loops and statements do not have a separate scope, but generators and comprehensions do. So that's great. Fantastic. Source for these data over here, and I'll put that as a card 10500, this thing over there. Great. I'll put a little annotation card over here. So we're not doing that, so I had it in a generator expression, and so it couldn't see it. So I'll do that instead. Fine. Fine. Let's try it again. And I'll need this once more. I don't have that showing. Let me show that. Okay, populate. With the bar, totals by day, very good. Average per day, 29. All right. Let me get a calculator. 11 plus 55 plus 12 plus 42 plus 38 plus 11 plus 60 plus 16 plus 24 equals, divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 equals 29.8. Great. Functional. So, that's good. I get an average of 29 contraband per day. So there is that. How about dilithium ore? Average per day. Approximately 49,000. Great. Let's have a min date of 2016 5/15. Should go up slightly. No? Oh no, that's the first day. No, that's wrong. I'm trying to cut out the first day, which has less dilithium, because I didn't log the whole thing. Average per day is, if we eliminate the first day outlier, then it's more in terms of dilithium. That's cool. Significantly. How about a max date of 2016 5/22? 64, because I haven't done much stuff today. My only dilithium today was from yesterday going into the morning before I went to sleep, and I haven't done anything with it today. So I will be sure to get more dilithium. So if we exclude those outliers, the average is more like 64K per day. That's 7 tunes. The system does not know how many characters you have in these logs. You must do this manually. And 64,000 divided by 7 is about 9K per day for ore. But note that that's an average. So I may get an average of 9K per day, but some characters get a lot fewer. That's an interesting one. I think it would be less still. They get fewer units of dilithium ore, which means they get less dilithium ore as a currency. It's not, when it's discrete objects, you're supposed to use fewer. Like if you're in line at a supermarket, the express lane says 10 items or fewer. That's how it should be. But if you're buying, roast beef at the deli, get a coupon with 3 pounds or fewer, or less. It would be less than 3 pounds, because you could have 2.9 pounds, or 2.91 pounds, or 2.55926 pounds. It doesn't matter. Less. There's no discrete pound unit. But for currency, there is. So you could say if you spend, less than $3, but you would have to say if you spend fewer than 300 cents, because those aren't really divisible, except in certain cases where you're working with fractions of a penny for fancy accounting stuff and taxes and whatnot. It's there lies madness. Currencies are integers. There you go. But this be working. It be working. What have I got over here? Okay. So that's working. That's good. That makes me happy. Let's see. Hour 10. What else? What else have we got? What else should I put in here? Let me get that out of the way. I'm going to keep the command window in there. It's dealy. Loot class, here we go. Dabo, we implemented. Common. How handy is that? I don't even know. We have a counter. That's the most common loot object. Let's have something for winners. Do we even need that? Should we do a bare get loot of the winners? Common counter average totals. No, cumulative totals by day. I want something that says the winner of lockbox stuff. Group by day, total value. No. Even quantity, average value, but no. I think it's just get loot. So I'm gonna have a get loot, just a bare. Okay. Let's actually do just get winners. And all it will do is get loot. Let's do the following. For item in self.container.getLoot * self.getFilters do I have a get winners of stuff? No? It'd probably be good to have it here. Maybe. Probably. Def get winners. Self * filters for item in self.getLoot * filters if item.winner, right? That's a thing. Winner. Self.winner is winner. Yeah. If self.winner, where am I? If item.winner yield item, the whole thing. Yeah, then we can process it later. That's great. Get winners. Okay, we've got filters that we've sent there. Print item dot date time. No. We want to print this. We want to put the date time into there. Okay. And then also print the gain item. And the person who won it. Winner. Okay. Great. That should work. Sounds fine. Save and save, and we will run it. First we have to end the previous instance. Now we can run that. And I need, again, this dealie. Okay, paste that in here, populate. It didn't add a button. Irritating. What did it look like exactly? This, and that. We might want another button. Where will I add this button? How about just in another column? Because I don't care. I'm not concerned with the appearance for now. Dot winners button. Blah, 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 3 lockbox ship winners. Actually, lockbox wins. Get winners. Okay. You couldn't see any of that. All I did was, again, put another button there and grid it. Put it in the next column. It's gonna just keep extending them out to the right, but I don't care. It's fine. So let's run that and show you what it looks like. And we have lockbox wins, because I don't care. It will be in a menu eventually, don't worry. And it will send output to a CSV eventually. So again, do not worry. Now I need this thing again. And I'm gonna put it in there, and I'll populate. Lockbox wins. Unicode error. No. Okay. Okay. For those of you who are wondering why I am I'm doing the socially acceptable equivalent of throwing my hands in the air and wailing, someone has a character or account name that includes a Unicode character that the command prompt does not understand. It doesn't. So, all I can say for now about this is that the command prompt, the terminal emulator, will not be the final version of the interface, the output method. on a going forward basis. This is just the easy way to do things until it breaks. Sorry, I was saying it's just the easy way to do things, and it will do sufficiently until I add like a save to CSV file thing. So for now, look at all this stuff we've got. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, there's not that many. Okay. Note that this is only the ones for which I was online. And it goes through the 15th, 16th, and 17th. Okay. For now, I'm going to close this. I'm going to hide those. One of the realms of stuff in programming that I just don't like and don't understand is character encodings. You can't spell encode without code. Text is basically a secret code for which people try to do their best to make it not a secret. But all it takes to make it break is ignorance or disagreement. So if one group of people says we're going to make a terminal emulator that can handle these code points and has these glyphs for this font, etc., and then another group of people says we're going to use a font that has this other code point that the first group didn't consider, didn't think of, and or maybe thought of and decided no, it's not something we're going to put in there, and then you get this Unicode encode error. Charmap codec can't encode characters in position 39 to 40. Character maps to undefined. So it has a code point and it's trying to look it up in the code page, and it's not there. It goes, I don't know. And it is not smart enough to figure out what it should do. And by not smart enough, I mean it's not presumptuous enough. This is the sort of thing that some languages assume. Like if you're in Java and you add a string with an integer, it casts the integer to a string. But maybe you had a string of 3 plus integer of 2, you will get 32 as a string. Maybe you wanted 5 as an integer, I don't know. So there's guessing, and there's it's a spectrum. There's guessing, and there's maybe useful things that are very common and you generally want, and there's autocorrect on smartphones. Yeah, it just keeps doing it wrong. And there's Clippy the paperclip. Do you remember that from Microsoft Office suites from many years ago? There was Clippy the paperclip, and he says, it looks like you're writing a memo. Do you want some help? And he'd be an animated paperclip, and he'd go ding ding ding, and he'd knock on the screen. It was awful. He enjoys the same reputation as Comic Sans. So I'm going to write something that will not be useful soon. Print this and equals space print item.gain item and equals space try print item.winner except Unicode encode error. So pissed at Unicode right now. Like just put a question mark there or a box. Like, come on. I'm alright. For C in item.winner. Try print C end equals nothing, except Unicode encode error. Print question mark end equals nothing, and then print. Okay, fine. Annoying, but it should work better. And this is on the 17th after 1, 2, 3, 4, or after like half a dozen on the 17th after Arthun. Great. Serious? I told it not to. I told it to do this. Except Unicode encode error. For character and item.winner. Oh, the item has that too? Crikey. What the hell character is it printing? Stupid stuff is annoying. Try print S and equals a space, except with what's it? For C in, that's the only one. For C and S, try to print the thing. If it fails, print a question mark, and then when you're done, print the end of the line. No. End equals space. No, just end. Equals end. Okay. End equals end. End equals end. Print end. End equals nothing. Flush equals true. Okay. Fine. Self.unicode printer. Item.gain item. And a space. Self.unicode printer. I tell you. Item.winner. New line. Okay. Great. Maybe that'll work. Who knows? I don't. That's why I'm testing it. Probably need this. Run the thing. Okay, populate. And I might as well show you. All I did was put the thing in there and hit populate. Very boring. Lockbox wins. Aha! It was the 17th after Arthun. 17th. Then, the Zindi Aquatic Narsing Dreadnought. In German. Is, I don't know. I don't know what that is. Let me Google. Like Zindi Aquarianer sonar scene. Sure. Dreadnought trigger. Oh, it's an A with an umlaut. And apparently it's using, I guess, 2 bytes or something for that particular character. And notice how we have 2 question marks, but it is really only 1 character glyph that it's printing. So it has it got a thing to print, and it gets like a character, and a character. Can you see me? Yeah, it's a character, and a character, and a character, and then it got a character, and it's like, what is this? Then it got a character, and what is this? But in reality, this whole thing was 1 character, and it didn't understand. I don't know why the others work. This one doesn't. That's okay. Question marks here. The Zindi Aquatic Dreadnought. That's great. So the Dreadnought is no good. No one in the chat, but people have been watching. Yay. I had 3 viewers a while ago. Neat. Anyway. Question marks, question marks. I don't know. I don't want to read through this whole thing. But the point is, I hate working with Unicode. Is the point. And NB, which stands for Nota Bene, note well. That this whole thing is not going to matter eventually, because it's going to be in a CSV file, and Python can easily write these things to a file with its, file output method. It's fine, and then all you have to do is open it with something that can read those characters. We were basically opening. We were viewing these strings in something that can handle those characters, which is the terminal. Maybe PowerShell can? I'm not sure. I don't know. I would say most likely a Unix terminal could do it. But I'm not in the mood to mess with it, and I will still be testing it in the command line. So Unicode printer, it is. That's what I'm going to do. Alright. That's useful output. Let's actually end this with a tab. Tab, would that be useful? And let's direct this to a file. Back T again. Okay. Let me close this, and let's see. What can I call it? Winner output? I don't know. How about I will save this, and I'll do this. Winner output.xls. Okay. And let's get this. And let's copy that in there, and let's turn this on, and let's put that in the thing, and we populate, and we will do lockbox wins. Okay, it should be done writing to the file by now. And let's look at it. Less, and we close, and we do this, and does it work like I thought it would? Let's see. I am now opening the OpenOffice Calc application, which is Excel, only not. Because Microsoft Office is kind of expensive if you're not a student. character set UTF-8. Sure. Great. Tab delimiter. Fantastic. Okay. Alright. Neat. So here's what this does. Let me show you. I redirected the output to winner output.xls. And when I opened it, it said, looks like you have Unicode characters here, and what character set do you want to use? It'll look like this preview, and I'm like, that looks right, looks fine. And looks like you have tabs in here, you want to use that as a delimiter? And I'm like, sure. And I actually want to add, for the winners, year, month, day, can I format? Spreadsheet programs generally have a way to get a string containing stuff and recognize it as a date and convert it to like a date time, basically. Oh, and I can enter a format specifier. Your year dash month dash day. Okay. Neat. 16, 5, 15. Does this work like I think it does? I have no idea. Anyway, I think I will add hour, minute, and second. HMS. No microseconds. Oh well. But we have year, month, day, space, hour, minute, second. And it's a tab with the flush and the Unicode printer. Alright. So that's great. Let me actually close this. Close without saving. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save this again. I'm going to do it the same output. Can I still do that? I can. Great. Populate. Show UTK enter. Lockbox wins. Great. Should be done. Okay. And then I'm gonna close this. And I'm gonna not show you that. And I'm gonna open this. And I'm gonna say okay. Aha. Here's what I will do. Studio mode. That, what's it? Turn off this. Get this in there. All right. And transition. All right. Cool. So what have we got here? Get this over here, that over there. What have we got here? We have got a nice little spreadsheet that says the date and the item that someone won and the name of the winner. And I do believe it handles, yes, it handles those Unicode characters. So that's cool, because it didn't have to be displayed in the actual command terminal. One little note, the try except syntax is very fast if no exception is raised. Just trying something means just like run it, and it's only slow when it has to catch an exception. So if you have code that you're iterating through something and you're trying to, you think you have a list with mostly strings but maybe one integer, and you want that integer to be parsed as such, then you can go for item in my list, try new list dot append int item, and then except value error new list dot append item. Right? Sounds good? No, not really, because you'll be doing a bunch of you'll be catching an exception for almost every element, and catching exceptions is kind of slow comparatively, I mean, to other things. And then only one time that call will succeed. So you should use try except when you expect it to succeed most of the time, rather than raise an exception. And I do indeed expect the Unicode formatter to succeed most of the time. If it finds a string it doesn't like something with an A with an umlaut, then it'll be like, oh, I see, that's unusual, raise an exception for that. And then it will go through all the characters, and most of the characters will be fine, but maybe one of them will raise an exception, and then it will handle that. So that's fine. And we get this output besides. Can you see? You can see that. That's good. Because I have. This is capturing a monitor, a display, rather than the window. Hour 40. Okay. How about all the way to the end? Format cells with a date. And the format code is year dash month dash day space hour minute second. Can I do that? Does that work? I don't know if that does anything. But anyway, we can change the maybe I can sort by something. Anyway, I will have to look into Excel's formatting, what it wants to see for dates. Let me go back to this. So I will have to investigate. From what I remember using actual Excel, you can have your date string be in a few different formats, but if you have a specific one that isn't in the list, it has no idea what to do with it. You can't have it as a date. You have to do formulas to reformat the thing, and it's really annoying. So it would be much better if the string could be in the right format in the first place, which we can easily do because we have the datetime module. Yay! So this is working. You can see your totals for each day. You can see what have we got for this? You can see your totals for each day. You can see your Dabo gamblings. Not super wholesome, that's okay. You can see your average per day of each item. And yeah, and the logbox wins. If you want to see who's getting what, you could do this redirection, right? And then put that into the Excel file. Or, I mean, OpenOffice is free and it works okay for this. Sometimes it really doesn't work for what I want it to do. It can be very frustrating. It's supposed to be compatible with Word documents, stuff that comes from Office, but it often isn't, especially if the original document has like a fancy layout with like images and stuff all over the place. It tends to make things the wrong size and get the layers wrong, and so you get like a thing and it's like Then you start moving things around and things are like underneath. It's like, ah, that's where the caption for that picture is, under the other picture, and you move everything around and you have to, like deconstructing your burger before you eat it. That's okay. But it works for this. Just have a tab delimited thing and it works fine. You also might want to redirect it to just a plain text file, and then you can copy the contents of that text file and paste them into a spreadsheet, which you have already set up with like formulas and charts and whatnot. I've done that before for work, actually. I had a Python script that created a couple text files, and then you opened the text files and copied their contents and pasted them into a nice little Excel workbook that I had created, and it would update the nice little charts that I'd spent quite a while creating with new data. So that was cool. So you can do that for this if you want. I highly recommend using a spreadsheet program for filtering and sorting, etc. That's what they're for. This is generating basically raw data. And yeah. So this does useful things in a useful way and works. And even works in the terminal with, question mark characters if necessary. If you want a Zindi Narsine Dreadnought and you are using the German language client, Unicode. There's nothing wrong with the German client. It's just the native command prompt doesn't enjoy Unicode. The Unicode. Unicode always reminds me of Unicron. Unicron is the kind of big scary robot in the Transformers universe. Is in the Transformers movie, I mean the one in the 80s, he was like blown to smithereens and his head was like put into orbit of Cybertron or something, or some faraway land, I don't know. And then in the next season of the show, Starscream's ghost went to Unicron to try to get a body. Strange things ended up happening in that show. And Unicron is like scary. He grants boons. He's not like, hey, I'm a Unicron. I have like stuff and I'm a robot and they kind of blew me up. It sucks. No. It's like, your first labor will be to fetch me the eyes of Metroplex. Very ominous. Anyway, this is doing useful things. It's cool. I'll add maybe more functions later. I'm not sure what else there is in particular. Turn this off. What have we got? Container, etc. Blah blah blah. Get loot. Get winners. Average value per event. I'm not sure if that's of incredible utility. Event quantity, total value. I don't know. Group by day. The functions are there if someone wants to suggest certain things to do with them. It's not really anything, not any analysis I'm interested in, but maybe someone is. And then leave a comment saying, I really want to see, total value. Or no, we're already doing that, aren't we? No? Yeah, total value. I really want to see total value of stuff. Put in a button for that. Maybe I'll do that next time. Event quantity. I don't know how cool that is. Just have you refined dilithium this many times. Who cares? Someone, maybe. And that's why I have it. Average value per event. Get winners, I already have. Get loot, etc. So I'm using most things here. A lot of these are, there's the get loot. That's kind of basic. Everything uses that. And and then group by day calls get loot, and then totals by day calls group by day, and then cumulative totals calls totals by day, and average totals calls cumulative totals. So that's wrappers and wrappers and wrappers, but all of them do a useful thing, and you can access them from any point in there that you want if there's a certain thing that you're interested in. Counter, I don't know. Common, I also don't know. Dabo is there, and I'm reasonably certain that it would work, but I don't play Dabo, so I don't have any test data. So I might add that total value thing, this what's it, to the GUI next time, but and I'm sure a lot of this stuff I will be removing. Yeah. Next time I will clean this up, and I will add a total value function for the GUI, and I will make the GUI nice with like a menu, maybe add the save option. What I'll probably do is before adding a bunch of features to the GUI, I'll start with the button for the total value, but then after doing anything else, I think I will add a menu, like with the menu bar. Can you see the menu for this? No? An actual menu, like file and edit. It won't have a lot of stuff in there. It'll have basically save and load, I guess, and I don't know if I even need that. I'll think about it. We certainly don't need it now. It takes like a second. Who cares? And one thing I will also do is I will put this thing on GitHub so that you can clean up your logs and rid them of combat stuff. I have no idea what happens if you enter the command /chatlog1 and then /combatlog1. I have no idea. But yeah, I will put this script also on GitHub so that you can clean up large logs and improve the processing speed for that. Or else you will have to it's just reading over stuff that doesn't matter over and over again. So you might as well remove them from the file entirely. And I mean, you can always make a backup if you want, but it'll remove them from the file, and then you don't have to keep processing them every time you open the program. That's probably fine. I don't know. We shall see how it holds up with more data. And so I'll put this on GitHub. Total value added to the GUI. Make a menu bar for the interface. Exporting to CSV stuff instead of just redirecting the output. It'll do with open the what's it as the thing. I don't know. Tiki Enter has some what's it called? Has native widgets basically for that sort of thing, file choosers and whatnot. So we'll use some of those, and then you can be like export and enter a location and a name with like a regular file chooser or file browser. And so yeah, I think next time we'll be cleaning up the main module and adding a menu bar and the totals to the GUI. Yeah. And then we shall see. So I think that's the stream for today. And we have some fun stuff to do for next time. And thank you for joining me. I noticed there were viewers at one point. I don't think there are any now, but there were. So that's cool. Nothing in chat, but that's okay. So yeah. Tomorrow will be a game day. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, maybe Dota or something. Or maybe I'll try another Steam game from a bundle. Speaking of which, the Capcom Super Turbo HD Remix Humble Bundle is only going to be active for another 15 hours. So, if you want Capcom games like Strider and Resident Evil Revelations 2 Episode 1 and the Lost Planet 3 Complete Pack and Bionic Commando Rearmed and also the reboot, Resident Evil Revelations, Devil May Cry, Resident Evil 4, Remember Me, and Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition and Resident Evil 6, for various ranges of prices up to $15. That's like a little over $1 a game. That's not bad. If you want that, you have 15 hours. Yeah, 15 hours to buy that. I don't know. And there's another bundle with like a week to go. There's 2 concurrent bundles. So maybe I'll play something from those. I don't know. And that'll be tomorrow. And then day after tomorrow will be more Python loot parser stuff. I know there's the idle clicker. I know. I remember. Large features to add, and by the time I get back to it, I will have no idea what's going on. But that's part of coding. Sometimes you finish something and it's great, and then like 6 months or a year later, the boss says, "Hey, you remember that program?" And you go, "Of course I remember it." And he goes, "Can you add this feature to it?" And you go, "All I remembered was that it exists. I don't remember anything in it." And then you get to go in and be flabbergasted at your awful code, and then you get to rewrite everything, assuming you can understand it. I don't know. That's why comments are good. I haven't put any comments in here, because if I want a good overview, I could spend a day at the office just looking over the archived video streams. And I'd be like, oh, this is why I'm doing that. Okay, very good. And, you know, if I were doing that for a job, I would be paid for it. But I'm not. So it would probably be good to have comments, so I don't waste time figuring things out later. Anyway, we got things done today. Games tomorrow. Total value and clean up the main module and add menu bar day after tomorrow. And yeah, that's the stream for today. I think it was it didn't cut out at all, so that's good. Last time it cut out a lot. But yeah, thank you again for joining me, and I will see you next time. So have a good one.